What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? How are you doing? We are back with another episode. This is episode 12, Planet Xbox Podcast. How are we doing? Gaming Addict, what's up? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. I'm still tired. I just woke up.
Yeah, I can hear it. What's up, Panda?
Not much. I finally have a day off.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. You fire anyone yet?
I'm on the brink. I want to, but I can't. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's really good, so.
I thought she was about to say, no, I'm kidding. I already fired everyone.
And we got a guest here, Jansen. I mean, if you're familiar with Xbox Live or being in a party with me and Addict, you typically run into this guy.
About Jansen.
So Jansen is here, you know. So
what's up, people?
And Jansen's a troll online. So
hey, I'm a troll online, but not Xbox. I'm pretty nice when it comes to that.
Psycho Gamer Jez should be making a parent. They're just running a little bit behind, but we didn't want to keep you folks waiting any longer. So we had to go ahead and start with episode 12. So a lot going on, a lot of Xbox news. This is Planet Xbox Podcast. So we talk Xbox. Duh. So I do want to ask around because I haven't done this in a while. What game are you guys playing? What was the last achievement you unlocked? We're gonna start with Panda.
Come back to me. I actually have to pull.
Okay. All right. We're gonna start with Jansen.
I'm playing Just Cause 3.
Really?
It's my back catalog.
That trash?
Oh, hey! It is trash on console. I will be 100%. Just Cause 3's frame rate is terrible on console. I'm talking the slightest fire of your gun, and you're at 10 FPS. It's pretty bad. But the last achievement I got was Chaos Millionaire, and it's get 1 million Chaos score.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think. Addict, what about you? What was the... damn, what have you been playing? You've been playing...
I've been playing ReCore, Mario Rabbids, Halo Wars 2, Escapist 2. I've thinned out myself way too much this week.
Oh, okay. I've been doing ReCore the Definitive Edition. I just bumped in ReCore because they just updated it. Loving what they did with the game, so I unlocked a couple achievements there. I'm stuck on a mission if you guys watched my stream yesterday, so I probably won't go back to it if I can't figure out how to beat that thing. But that's what I've been playing.
What's funny is people in Jimmy's chat this morning were asking me, did you see Kid Smooth in that stream? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, did you beat it? And I was like, yeah.
I was in that stream with him. That was some entertainment.
It, man. Like I definitely went there and beat it. But I will say that the dog kid was stuck on. It took me like a good 20 minutes to beat. Like he was annoying because you're on a small little platform. But you know we'll get more into that in the topic later. But
see, the part I'm confused about is not even the dog. How did you kill the orb? Like, what was the objective? It didn't highlight anything, and he was shooting that thing for a good 25 minutes.
I focused nothing about the dog.
What did you say?
I focused on nothing but the dog.
Well, I'm talking about the orb. I watched the live stream, and he was shooting that thing for a good 25 minutes.
All right, so Panda's back. Panda, what was the game?
Well, I've been playing a lot of fighting games. Me and Lord Zero have been beating each other up a lot on fighting games. So, I bought Injustice 2 not too long ago, and the last achievement I unlocked for that one, because keep in mind I bought this not too long ago, was that I ducked 10 times during a match, and I think that was really just because I had no idea what I was doing. But, I bought Injustice 2 so that way I could play against Lord Zero, and, he, of course, kicked my butt on that game, but then I immediately destroyed him on Dead or Alive. So
yeah, wow. how much achievement points is it worth to duck 10 times?
I think like not much. 15.
Damn. Wait. There is not an achievement for ducking.
There is an achievement for ducking 10 times. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
That's almost as easy as the achievement for pressing start on The Simpsons.
I honestly think I was probably just messing around and was doing something funny. Just was pressing random buttons. So.
Yeah, I haven't like touched an ounce of Injustice. I think before it came out, I wanted to, and then after like a day or two of it being out, and I didn't buy it yet, I just kind of like, okay, I'm just not gonna buy it.
Hold on, let me address Young Savage. Just Cause 3 on console is that bad. You do anything that requires an explosion, the frame rate comes to a crawling halt.
Oh yeah, I thought I just downloaded Just Cause 3 on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I thought I don't know if it's like a patch for that game or if it's an improvement, but it didn't feel like it or look like it. So it looked like it ran and performed the same way as like the base model games. So
it runs like trash.
Yeah, I don't like Just Cause. I really don't. I tried playing that thing so many times. It's just like there's nothing about the game that I like. So meh, it's trash. But one game I do want to talk about is ReCore. Did any of you, other than me and Addict, do any of you guys have it?
Nope.
No.
Oh my god. All right.
Hey, Gaming Addict tried to get me to buy it, but I was like, nah.
All right, so Addict, give me your impression so far.
I think it's a good enhancement. I'm very split down the middle when it comes to how I feel Microsoft presented this product. I feel like this is a very good product that they had, but they literally launched us with the bare minimum. So, you know, the entire brand's probably going to take a hit. I mean, if this game would have been out, what we have, the definitive edition, would have been the original game, I think it would have been more well received and it wouldn't have the hate it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, you know, they literally fixed everything everyone hated about it. You know, people said that there was too much, you know, one-dimensional gunplay. Well, now there's multiple shots. You know, you got the grenade shot, the supercharge, the charge, you know, the little wave attack. You know, they have multiple modes to your fighting style now. They went in detail and fixed how the mechs operate because, you know, I like it, like, you know, but when it comes down to it, you know, a lot of people won't even try ReCore because you got people like BG saying it was shit, you know, people on the weapon wheel, and you know, that means a lot. When you have someone that's, you know, has a decent following, people will take their word over playing it themselves.
Okay, other than broken games, when was the last time you saw anyone play games on the weapon wheel? I mean, let's be honest.
What are you talking about? Jason, you're climbing up the wrong tree. If you're
no, I'm not talking shit about the weapon wheel. What I'm saying is I have all of them subbed, and the only person who live streams is you and BG.
No, they all pretty much live stream.
Jack Move doesn't.
No, Jack Move doesn't live stream to YouTube anymore. Yeah, he does Twitch now.
Let's
that's probably why.
Yeah.
My bad.
But anyway, as far as the ReCore game, I thought the update was pretty dope. I like the new core bot. What's his name? TK something. His move when you're using them, his only really power is just to crash into people. But when you're not mounted to him, you can he like shoots missiles and whatnot, which proved to be very effective, which I found out very, very late. But as far as like what they improved the visuals. They added more enemy types, new dungeons. They made it easier. This update also made it less stressful to try to attempt to finish the game because before this update, you had to find like all the cores or find a decent amount of cores before being able to climb the top of the Eden Tower. And now it's to the point where you can just like you don't have to have them all. What was that update? Because I mean, I'm not gonna rebeat it again.
Where it was in the single digits.
Yeah,
but you know, like I do think that might have been a little too much. Like, you know, I think 50 was too much to get into the last door, but I do think single digits is too least to get into the tower. I think like 20 would have been a good number. You know, 20 is easy to get throughout the game playing it once. I think 20 would have been a good number to get into the entire tower.
Yeah, but overall, like I said, it's good to pick up and play again. Right now I'm stuck, so I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know if there's like an actual boss. I just know there's new dungeons, so it's not like it just kind of added content to the game. So I'm not forced to play it again. But however, I did want to go back and gain those extra achievements because they added 500 additional gamer score points for those. So I do want to go back and, you know, try to maximize or capitalize on that.
That involves you killing the little puppy first, though, man.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, no, but I managed to get like I think 3 achievements from just getting to that point.
I mean, it's like I told you in the party. You got to do more charge shots when you fight. Like I was noticing you use the standard, you know, right trigger, just shooting. Like I rarely just shoot. Like most of the time, like I'm using the charge shots.
Yeah, I've used it. If you like, when it was a 2-hour stream, I focused that it was what did I use? Because I did 2 streams. It was that stupid that giant floating centipede type enemy, where you couldn't kill him with the regular colored shots, and then when I unlocked the other rifle, I just did charge shots on that one until all the body parts were gone. But yeah, I figured it's just I don't have the patience for I didn't have the patience for trying to do the charge shot on that little platform that I'm on, because one, you have to charge it, which requires time. And you got to make sure you hit them when you do charge it. So it's just like the regular shooting was just instantaneous, and I felt like I can do it that way. But I'll try that. I'll try it during if I attempt to play it again tonight or something.
I noticed the grenade function where you can shoot grenades. It works really well on people.
All right. So what else we have here? There was a lot of talk in regards to Digital Foundry. They did the comparison for the PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One X, and an image came out. I of course did a video on it. It comes to find out that my video was kind of wrong, but I'm not taking the video down because I thought the video was funny. So this image that you guys are looking at, was floating around Twitter and on the internet, and you're looking at the visuals, and you can clearly see that what we were looking at, the Xbox One X version, seemed to have like a better look, or just more textures on Laura's face, as more details of like the blood and mud and stuff like that. Now, I always knew as far as the blood and mud and stuff appeared on her face after combat, if you got into any combat before certain cutscenes came. That I knew. It was in this screenshot, these comparison shots, it looked like you look at the PC version, you see that there's some wear and tear on there. You look at the PlayStation 4 Pro version, there's not quite any wear and tear there, and then obviously Xbox One X is like a real amount of wear and tear, like she went through battle and whatnot. So me and other Xbox fans, shared this image. We bragged about it. We talked about it, and said that, and I pointed out that, hey, this image, it's kind of challenging the PC visuals. That's all I said. PC visuals, right? So that got a lot of people upset and in their feelings, and somebody from NeoGAF did some investigative work to see how to prove that this isn't possible for an Xbox One X game to be looking better than a PC game. So they played whatever many hours to reconstruct this.
I'm wanting to know why it took so long for someone to figure that out.
Yeah. So they replayed the game and figured out, oh, it does appear. It just depends on if you're injured or not during a game. and so now everybody's like are going at Digital Foundry for this. They're going at Xbox fanboys for this. But at the end of the day, it still doesn't change the fact that you're looking at the images that there's still a clear visual difference between the Xbox One X, the PlayStation 4, and I won't say the PC. The PC still looks good, but I'm just saying, when just looking at the visuals, ignore the wear and tear on the face and look at the visuals. But yeah, it's like now everybody's like jumping for joy. It's like the PC had got like a second life. The PC gamers got like a second life because somebody pointed this out. You know what I mean? But I did know this that does happen in the game, but that doesn't change the way
The PC
it looks.
guys are salty. They were straight salty though. I mean, I was on Twitter and I didn't even hear anything from the PS4 guys.
That, man.
All it was salt thrown from PC.
Boy, it was. There ain't no denying.
It can't be better than our platform. We have $1,000 GPUs.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy? I've said something like that in the past, and I got crap for it. And but there was another video that came out from Digital Foundry, and it was when they did the Forza, and they also said that the X version had the edge over the PC version due to the anti-aliasing tech that they're using. I guess the PC version of the game uses a certain version, while the Xbox One X is using a different version, and it just comes out sharper. But not my words, Digital Foundry's words. So just saying that. So that, take it however you want to take it. They did say the Xbox One X version was looking cleaner. Then it may not run at 140 frames per second on the Xbox One X, but it has a visual edge. So
when it comes down to it, it's like, look, even if you take the picture into consideration, without any of the research you've done, like, PC will always be better than consoles when it comes to raw power. There's no denying that. But for this particular games, let's be real here. There are a lot of particular games that's ran like dog shit on PC.
A lot of them.
You got Arkham Knight. A lot of games have problems, at launch on PC. That's why you see a lot of PC people saying don't pre-order, because there's a lot of issues on PC at launch. Most of them, is small and they fix them pretty relatively fast. You don't get too many launches like, Arkham Knight on PC. That's one of the very few exceptions. I mean, even if this game looked better on the X, it's just because the developer did some extra shit for the X. It's not because PC couldn't handle what the developer did.
Yeah,
go
ahead. I'm sorry.
It comes down to, it's like, look, like, it's like I said, even if the game looked better, it's like, this is not because of PC. PC could have do 2 times the number. PC can only do as much as the devs give it.
Yeah. My biggest beef with PC, though, and its fan base, is when they bring that bullshit. You can build a PC for $400, $500. It's more capable than the X. And then you watch one of their build videos, and they're on fucking eBay part pickers. Excuse my language. And you're like, you're buying used PC parts? Like, I mean, come on. I've built a gaming PC before. If you want something that can have high frame rate and ultra graphics, you're looking at $700, $800.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's hard to find something that.
I mean, an RX 480 itself is $300. I mean, they straight up lie to you on YouTube all the time about, you can have just as good performance. No, you can't. It just doesn't work.
I mean, when it comes down to it, it's like, that's what Microsoft, in the long run, Microsoft is right about that. There's going to be PC gamers and there's going to be console gamers. And, some console gamers won't go to PC, and you got people like Blackbond that won't go to console. So they took that bet, and, for the most part, they're winning that bet.
Yeah.
My PC was 400. It could barely run last gen games.
No, I've had, like I said, I bought like a significant amount of like decent like laptops before I built my rig. I had a desktop prior to this. I had a decent amount of like capable laptops trying to run certain games at certain settings, and I just couldn't do it. And these was like $500, $600 laptops and whatnot. and that's what encouraged me to get it, because I couldn't even get like properly work my Elgato and stuff like that for capturing without things like locking up and stuff. So the whole idea is, I understand you can build capable gaming PCs for cheap, but it's like it's the wrong message to deliver to people who's looking for performance, because you're saying, oh, you can build this for cheaper than the Xbox or just over the Xbox, and it's like among the weakest in comparison to what they're trying to advertise. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't understand, like when people try to compare, people have already tried to build PCs comparable to the Xbox One X, and it's been at minimum $586, $611, $625, and I'm like, oh, but it's just only $100 more, and I'm like, no, it's still more. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and you're not gonna, your games aren't gonna be running in this as good as you would want them to run, and that build ain't gonna last as long as you would like it to last. Because you're going to want to upgrade, because the next game is going to kill it. Like, you know what I mean? So
because, I mean, you know, for the most part, PC, it's an open platform. And you know, what I've been seeing here lately that I see a lot of PC people real pissed about is these people are starting to really, like, you know, the recommended specs are starting to be like top tier shit on these AAA titles now. And
they're recommending like RX 480s. That's a $300 graphics card.
What was the game? Final Fantasy 15? Like, did you guys see that recommended specs for that game?
Yeah, that was pretty trash.
Yeah, it's what it is. But, you know, I guess the only reason we're really talking about it is because what I thought was funny is, you know, it wasn't comparing the Tomb Raider to the Pro version. It was comparing it to the Ultra setting PC version. And I'm like, that's not even a comparison. PC's always going to... And what's funny is the same people that are saying, oh, well, you know, that doesn't mean nothing to me. It's frame rate. The same people defending that shit in the comment section.
Well, hey, let's be honest, too. Like, Ace, he says the X still won't run all games at 60 FPS. I mean, I don't really even know an Xbox fanboy that's ever claimed that. Even Crap Gamer. I've never even heard him make a video saying they'll run games at 60 FPS.
I think I've heard kids say that.
I've been like the only one that's been... Here's the thing. I don't mind. There's no shame. I have no shame in saying that. I don't care. I was promoting the idea that...
Yo, hold up. Black Metal Gamer, Brute Force 2. Hell yeah. I've wanted a Brute Force forever.
I don't know what that is.
Saying good.
But no, I was saying, like, I was running with the idea of 4K 60 on all games back when Project Scorpio was like announced and whatnot. And then I think once it was a couple of days later is when I pulled back, and I was like guaranteeing native 4K. But I was the one that was jumping out the gate 4K 60. I think I'm probably the only Xbox person that was saying that. And the thing is, it's funny because I'll sit back and then I'll watch how everybody... This is why, you know, the community over exaggerates everything. Because I was saying that, they will sit back and be like, well, all the Xbox guys or all the Xbox guys, like plural, was saying this. I was like, well, no, I'll take responsibility for saying that.
And don't you love that, like, you know, certain people, we ain't going to say names, can say stuff like the cloud is the strength of 4 Titans, and then like blame the entire community for saying this, and it's like it was one person.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how that happens, and I tell you guys. All right, as being the best spot, I sympathize with my fellow Xbox gamers and my fellow Xbox fans, because we are looked at as the worst, the worst of the worst, and I think we're being held to that standard under false pretenses. I think it's wrong, and that's why I don't sit there and try to pretend and put on this act of like, you know what, Xbox guys are crazy. I'm not going to say that when I run into crazy... I'm not even going to call them PlayStation fanboys, because PlayStation fans get offended and whatnot. But I come into people that have a dangerous sense of hate for the piece of plastic that they make fun of us for having an extremely high level positive love for, right? But they have that same amount in hate, and they get to say whatever they want. I had somebody tell me that he's pre-ordered an Xbox One X and he's going to jizz on it and sell it and tell that person that that he sells it to that it's Phil Spencer's jizz. And I'm like, what?
People got like some psychological issues there.
I'm like, what?
That's some fucked up shit.
I'm like,
excuse my language.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, but Xbox guys are the worst. I was like, I get stuff like this every day. Like,
I didn't see that on the topics list. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, King Law. So you can do it in the settings.
Yeah, but what's up, Jess? How you doing?
Yo, what's up, man? Sorry I'm late.
No,
I get us down for about like 40 minutes or so. I gotta head out with my my colleagues on business trip.
Okay.
Oh,
real life is
just be important.
Yeah, gotta make that dough. Buy my toys.
Buy your toys.
Hey, Jez, did you try to record Definitive Edition?
No, I haven't. I said I only tried to record the trial, so I never purchased the full game.
Oh, you're slacking, man.
Yeah.
And you any thoughts on the Tomb Raider and Digital Foundry Xbox One X whole fiasco that has everybody either happy or angry?
Yeah, well, I could say, like, from when I looked at it, I was like, wow, you definitely could see a difference and, you know, the sharpness of it. And then I saw that there was a craziness over the weekend where they're like, she has dirt on her face. Those are not 4K textures. It's because she's damaged. And, you know, and I think that was a little a little oversight by Digital Foundry. But again, it's not, you know, that's not the texture, but it definitely was clear. And, you know, I think we need more of that. I was listening, though, to some of Aaron Greenberg's interview, I think with Games Radar, and, you know, he was saying that they're not really going to do a lot of that themselves. They're going to kind of let the media and fans kind of do that, which I don't think's a great idea.
So basically, they're taking that L again.
I got to interrupt you, okay? Like, look, like, you know, I got into this with my stream. I do want to address something Red Infamy said here in a second. But, look, let's be real here. If Microsoft came out and they had open comparisons with their people showing the comparisons of these games, the way that this entire gen has looked, would you guys believe anything they said? Let's be honest here. Do you think the actual player base, the community that follows these videos would believe anything Microsoft says?
No, because they have sold themselves on the idea that all Microsoft does is lie and spread misinformation. So
what the easiest way to do it is be like, look, we're gonna let the people that ridicule us compare them.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get what you're saying, Gaming Addict, but at the same time, like, it kind of feels like Microsoft is just giving up and taking an L again. I mean, when was the last time you saw them try?
No, but
it's like people went out Aaron Greenberg for what he said. You know, he was like, you know, the whole Forza thing, and I'm like, what else do you expect him to say? It's like,
well, that's because PlayStation dudes have double standards. He's still got to
sell a brand. It's like you expect this man to come out and say, yeah, we're lacking this year on games.
we got no games, fam.
You know, wait next year. Don't buy an Xbox One this year. Wait next year. You know, our competition.
And you know what? I understand. Like, I understand definitely what you're saying. Like, what comes out of their mouth, who believes it? Because come on, look at Apple's like press conferences, and it's like revolutionary technology, and it's like, oh, whatever.
And they're selling you last year's tech.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how they do that.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like, I know everybody's gonna have, like, you know, but like to say that Microsoft, like, you know, they're spewing like lies and all that stuff, but it's still their responsibility, and especially the narrative that they're creating with visuals and textures and all that stuff. They're gonna have to try to make an out to justify the system's power. That's the sales pitch.
Well, I get that.
No matter who lies or not, they're gonna have to do that. And to make the media do it, look what the media did to them with their policies. They create the narrative, and then if the narrative gets out of control,
I'm sorry,
like Doritos, like.
I hope no one just like stepping on their Xbox. I was like, what's he doing? But what I'm saying is that, so like basically, if they don't show that, what happens if a narrative gets created that just runs wild because they let the media control their messaging? and then
I
now they
agree.
can't gain it back.
I do agree with that standpoint. Letting the media run with your message. But let's be real here. It's like I got into a discussion with some people in Jimmy B. Gableman's chat. It's like at the end of the day, it's like people like Digital Foundry, they do spear nothing but facts. Let's be real here. All theirs is raw numbers, but to say that's not wrong. Okay, what they do is not wrong, but to say they don't push the console war is foolish because they totally do.
They do.
Yeah. And people, like I said in the chat, they go where the traffic is, and people flipped out on me in that comment section. and even Jimmy was like, "Look, Attic is being real here." Like, and then I hit up them. I'm like, "Okay, who doesn't push for traffic? Even YouTube channels push for traffic.
Yeah, it's all
That's
monetized
the number
now,
one
so
thing
they will
people
do that.
is they push for traffic. They will do anything they can to get more traffic through their website."
But I think even the thing that too was the Tomb Raider thing is I think that in order to drive the traffic, Digital Foundry seems to be, using just like whatever they could get their hands on to start analyzing it. Like
I just don't understand how you analyze a video. Like,
exactly, it's like a rough
it's compressed. First off, like I don't get this.
Well, they couldn't.
I think they analyzed
Tomb Raider.
the raw feed.
Yeah, the thing was that they couldn't capture Tomb Raider stuff with basically what they played, according to them at Gamescom. So what they did was they used the video that was released, that video trailer, and that's what they used to analyze the Xbox One X version. Now, whether that was like that wasn't them playing that actual part. So this was a kind of a rendered footage of what it looks like on the X. Now, who knows if it gets downsampled, downgraded, or whatever it is when it's final, but they're comparing the trailer with actual gameplay. But the trailer is cut from gameplay.
All right, so it's like I said. I do want to address something that Reddit for me said. She said nothing wrong with loving Xbox. It's just the insane stuff some of these Xbox fans be saying. That's the key word.
Yeah, that's the key.
Some. Okay, like when you get people that go in on the Xbox community, they don't say some, they say all. Almost everyone bunches the entire. But see, the funny part is you don't see any other community being attacked like this.
No,
you see.
Well, and the same shit happens from PlayStation.
No, they don't ever bunch all the PlayStation people. They always say a selective few, but for some reason they let 15 people talk for the entire community.
It's more like
what I mean is like the PlayStation community be just as crazy and saying stupid shit. Like when the 16-bit, we have 8 teraflops because of 16-bit. No one makes 16-bit games anymore. It's literally useless tech. And then you have like people running around like, oh, we got an 8 teraflop PS4 Pro, and no one calls them out on it.
Are you talking about the rapid patch or rapid?
Vega. Yeah. The Vega patch.
Why do people keep saying last gen? Why would I try to make remarks on something I was not here for? Like, I don't get that in that analogy. Like, just because something happened last gen, why are we talking about it like 8 years later?
Yeah, the thing
I did recall that when everybody was making videos and stuff about the PlayStation 3, and I don't think it was with this much like just hatred and just nitpicking and stuff. Like, it was just general consensus that, hey, the PlayStation 3 was super expensive. You have to go get a second job to buy one. And, people made videos going, you failed, you don't hear your fans and all that other stuff. And then it was kind of over. Like, after the first couple of years of PlayStation, it was kind of done then.
I don't recall. People making videos dissing like PlayStation fanboys. Like, it was more of the console itself, or more of like what was going on.
More of them not understanding their fans.
People act like $600 now is insane. $600 in 2005 was like $800. Adjust for inflation.
There's the thing, Chris. All right, I said right now. In no part of that statement did I say 5 years ago. I said at the moment, you guys be letting 15 people speak for the entire community. That's facts. So you could say what you want. That is facts. Half the stuff that you guys, even kid, he says dumb stuff sometimes, but half the stuff that you be throwing on kid, he didn't even say.
Yeah, it's like it's really insane to the point. It's like people, I feel like people have when it came to Xbox, not only it's like, okay, we understand 2013, but people has made a living, a killing, and channels and freaking a second job out of coming in at either Xbox or the Xbox community or Xbox fans. It's like that's all they can do. That's all. I've just never seen it before in any generation of gaming. It was like, and they'll point, like, one person could do something or one person could say something, and then what that person says gets put onto everybody that's associated with Xbox. And then not only that now as a group, people say, oh, well, Xbox fanboys are ruining the gaming industry. Their corporate slavery is now is the reason why they're in this stuff now. And I'm like, I don't understand how a small group of people is responsible for the mass things that have taken place. Like, I don't understand that it just does not make any sense to me.
Well, that small group of people were created because of 2013. Like, there was so much going on. Like, that's how I got involved in, like, reading YouTube and, like, watching YouTube and all this stuff, is because I couldn't go on any news site without some sort of ding against Microsoft, and I was interested in the Xbox One. And like, now it's these people created by just the total opposite of the PlayStation. You know, everybody nagging on it that these people created their channels.
Okay, hold on. Someone in the comment section saying none of the Xbox community goes after these dudes. How is it our job to make sure these people don't say foolish stuff?
It's like
I don't get that logic. Like, are we supposed to?
It's not our job.
And you know, the same people that are saying,
like the police,
the same people I see say I'm tired of drama are the same people asking us to attack people. Like, that's the part that kills me. You guys say you don't want drama, but at the down low you do.
It's stupid. It is the dumbest thing. Why should we have to do it? I don't associate with a lot of these people, so why is it my duty to tell them what they should be saying on their content, on their platform? That is the wrong way to go about things.
Black Bond and, you know, Rags and them, they have a big job. I'm gonna let them do that. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, and one thing I want to point out is that here's the thing, because I get this every time. There are people who watch a ton of people, like on YouTube, right? And they'll come to me, or they'll come to Rand, or they'll come to Attic and whatnot, and they'll ask us, well, why don't you call out Microsoft for this, or why don't you call out Xbox for this? And I just want to say, because the last 10 people you just watched just did. Why do you need me to do it? Like, come on. It's like,
and when it comes, you know,
apparently nobody watched Planet Xbox because the last 3 episodes have been shitting all over Microsoft too.
And you know, Red Infamy said I went after these wannabe Sony fans. It's like, look, like, I get that. You know, I get that people, and you know, a lot of the point is some of these Sony fanboys, they're not at the top of the food chain when it comes to this community of YouTube. Like, these Xbox people we're talking about are, so they got a way bigger voice than the majority of us.
The fact is that those people win anyway. Just because you listen to their video, you made them win. Like, they say, vote with your wallet. Well, if you don't like what they're saying, then don't listen to them, because you give them the view.
And you know, for the most part, let's be real here.
That's what they're looking for. Look at Howard Stern. Howard Stern lived on being contradicting and just being kind of like just being out there. That's what some of these YouTube extremist guys are, with fanboys and stuff like that. And they'd rather get the hate or the likes. They don't care. The view either way.
I mean, you know, it's just like we've said in the past. Like, look, like, a lot of the reasons some of these people are big, you know, you come at us for you know, not going at them, but it's like, you know, the other communities went at them and they've grown because of it. So who really won?
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad PR. I mean, look at Crap Gamer. He had like 1,000 subs when I first started watching him. Now he's at like, what, 20,000?
It's like 30.
I mean, come on. Yeah, like, and they sit there and like, why don't you check Xbox community guys? Why don't you put them in check? Okay, because every single Planet Xbox podcast would be about Crap Gamer if we had to do that. Nobody wants to do that.
And what he does is what he does. Like, that's it. You know, sometimes he has a good point, and a lot of time it's crazy.
I might not agree with everything you know Crap Gamer does, but he's definitely killing it when it comes to his He got the best clickbait around, man.
Because all these dumbass Sony dudes click on their "fuck you, crap gamer, you a terrible person." Meanwhile, he's just sitting there raking in ad revenue. Like, come on, dude. You ever heard of not feeding the trolls?
Oh man. But yeah, just to get off the tangent of the
I know that went left, but I felt like that needed to be said. I really did, because I do feel like there's too many incidents where people are just bunching an entire community together for no reason, just because they can.
Yeah, that is true. So we got some news that, hey, maybe Jez, you may be interested in this. Maybe not. So,
is it the Ver? Is it the Ver?
Is it the what?
The Ver, the VR? Is that what you're referring to? The Ver?
Yeah, like word came out that there's 343 is working on a Halo game for mixed reality, for Microsoft mixed reality.
Let me start this one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll let you start.
Look, I get it. That's cool and all. It's not a big deal. But at the end of the day, I feel like, once again, this is Microsoft mess. I know people think we just do nothing but dog on at Microsoft, but I think this is a mistake. Look, like, what are you doing there? You're giving the perception that, now people are gonna roll with the fact, the next Halo is not even on Xbox. It's a VR game, so they're not even supporting their first party titles. Which, in all sense, that's not true. We know they're still making a Halo 6, and if they're making a VR game, it's definitely like the B team that's to the side of the room in their little five-man team. But that's not what the perception of the player base is going to get. They're going to see a new Halo coming out that's VR. It's not on Xbox.
They didn't specify what type of VR. Is it an experience or is it actually a game?
Experience. That's what it said in the release.
Because they had an experience for HoloLens over at E3, I think 2 years ago. Last year, I think it was. It was a holographic thing with the HoloLens. My thing on this is, again, they are using the things that they have to promote the Windows 10 application system, Windows holographic. What they're trying to do is get development for the holographic area, and basically that puts it in Windows apps. The issues that I have with this thing is that why is this thing not working for Xbox? Why are these headsets that Asus, HP, Lenovo that are making, why are they not compatible with Xbox? We all know that they have the same Windows 10 operating system. It should be plug and play. They don't need sensors. They just work internal out. They basically have Kinect cameras built into them, and they sense the environment. And I was very surprised with this, because at first, when I've been following this Windows holographic stuff, is that I thought it was much more for virtual. Like, I think I mentioned a couple episodes ago that is basically sitting at a desk, you put this on, and basically you have a working station, like a virtual workstation. Now that the fact that they come out with these touch controllers similar to the Vive and the Oculus, they are now going to kind of creep into the gaming aspect of it. And from the reviews that I saw of some of these developmental headsets, is that they're really not made for, swinging your head around, doing all that kind of stuff, because they're kind of like, you flip them up to look at the world, and then you flip them down to go into the virtual thing. They're not like sturdy like an Oculus and stuff. So I don't know how effective they'll be in a game, like how a PlayStation VR or Vive or Oculus are. So, it's interesting. I just think that if they're going to step into games, why don't you bring it to Xbox One X? You said it supports high fidelity VR. That will be some distinction between that and the S.
I don't think they actually did come out and say it wouldn't be, though, did they?
Well, Phil said it on Giant Bomb's thing during E3. He's like, VR is way off. 2 years. It's not ready yet. I want more than demos. I want wireless. All this other stuff. Like, he basically threw it off. And they didn't talk about high fidelity VR at all during the Z3 with Xbox One X. And
Jazz, I got a question. A question. You're the VR guy, obviously. I mean, I've watched every episode of Planet Xbox. Dreadhead says every company is investing in VR, and it's only going to get bigger. I mean, I completely disagree because won't have any of you guys, if you ever talk to a casual or just anybody who's like into games but isn't as hardcore as you, have any of them ever expressed interest in VR or even own a VR headset? I've never even seen a VR headset in my entire life, and I have multiple hardcore gamers. Is the audience really that big, or do people just act like it's big?
I think the only time I've ever seen VR is at E3. Actually, to be honest,
it's the same here.
The actual hardware.
Nah, they have demos. It's all demos, and the thing is that it demos well, and it was always the longevity that I was always debating about. Now, since I have 2 VR headsets, the thing is, I have the PlayStation 1 and I have the Vive. The thing is that
you spend a lot of money on junk.
Experiences. Well, I'm just saying, everybody experiences. I'm telling you. You need to try the PlayStation VR with the 4-point gun. You gotta try 4-point demo with the PlayStation Aim. You will change everything. I'm telling you.
Me and Kid Smooth played like, I would say it was like on the lines of, a little bit below the PlayStation VR. Wouldn't you say that?
That headset. Yeah, it was all right. That was I have the card sitting in front of me. It was the Pico. They have this completely untethered headset.
But well, here's the thing. Look. I actually had a decent experience with that. Like I can understand it. Like until I played that, I was like, this is trash. I'm never wanting to play VR. It's trash. But when I played that and they did this demo with these spiders on this wall, like I ain't gonna lie, like I had like shivers going down my spine because of these spiders, because they look real. And then when the spiders jump on they get real close to you, like it's looking like they's legitly a spider.
No, it's instinctual. It really is. I'm telling you, it's almost like if you put it on, it feels like that you're in a ride at an amusement park, or it's an experience at Dave & Buster's, and that's the thing.
I do want to bring up something though.
That it does. Yep.
VR, I feel like VR experiences, like how they're using them right now,
gimmicks.
Well, I mean, like in the future, how they could use them, like for training and stuff like that, how they already are. But right now, for Black Metal Gamer brought up a good point. Like for scary movies, can you imagine watching a scary movie in a VR?
Yeah, but that's not a game.
But
no, I played the Rush of Blood. That game is scary as hell. Like
imagine playing Five Nights at Freddy's on it.
In VR.
Hold on, let her go.
Paranormal Activity.
In VR, the games that are going to be, I feel like, the most popular are the horror games, because people want to be immersed in those settings.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't see it for. I really don't for other games. It's hard.
I see it for shooters.
I've had
it makes sense for shooters.
So I'm telling you, from what I experienced, it's not something that you're going to say, you know what, let's put my controller away, lock it up, this is it. No, that's not what it is. And I think the messaging last year was super hype saying, move everything away, this changes everything. It doesn't.
No, it's an accessory.
What it does do is that it gives an alternative way of experiencing a video game, which is unlike anything you've ever done. And they have been experiences in there that it is absolutely amazing. And I'm telling you, if you ever could try the 4-point demo with that gun in the PlayStation 1, that thing is absolutely incredible. Like, you're moving and your gun is virtually in the environment and you're holding a physical gun in real life, and it is pretty amazing. The other thing too is playing just doing like underwater things and just things, horror games, but even like Fruit Ninja. I played Fruit Ninja with it. You have 2 swords and fruit comes at you. You could stab it. You could balance the fruit. And it sounds stupid, like, oh, that's dumb. Like, who wants to do that? But you want to know what? When you're in that thing and you do that stuff, you're like, this is amazing. Like, I am looking around. I'm inside the game. And that's pretty crazy. It's a
in my defense, I wouldn't say people think it's dumb like me. It's the price is really hard to justify right now. And
yeah,
number 2,
they'll come down.
No, I agree with you on that. They will eventually come down. But number 2 is the majority of the games I've seen and that most people have seen is gimmicks. gimmicks, gimmicks, gimmicks. Is gimmick this, gimmick that. I'm waiting for like an actual good game. I would say Super Lucky Tales was probably not a gimmick, but I heard it ran like garbage on VR and it was almost
the thing
unplayable.
was that it was basically a game that you're playing in 3D. It really wasn't any like it was. Looks like you were looking down and you were watching somebody run around. It was cool, but it wasn't a VR experience where you're one-to-one.
So it was like being in a dark room, like where you couldn't see anything except for the TV.
It was like take yourself in like Mario 64 and just if you took your head and put it right above like at a diagonal line looking at Mario and everything is just 3D, like it's a 3D people running around. That's what Lucky's Tales was.
Hold up. Black Bond said he wouldn't be caught dead playing Rabbids.
Are we surprised by that? Jack, said, is this the anti-PlayStation section? Have we been talking bad about PlayStation?
No, we've barely even talked about PlayStation with VR for 20 minutes.
I'm going to tell you about that PlayStation VR is pretty good. I'm telling you, compared to, like, people say that it's the trash one compared to the other two.
On the Pro, it's pretty good.
I play on the Pro. I'm telling you, it is legit. I can't believe what they did with old ass technology and how it works pretty damn good. And I'm telling you, the thing is that everybody, and I can tell you from demoing it with people, everybody handles it differently. Somebody puts it on and go, hell no, this I don't want this. And then somebody comes in there and they're like natural, like, oh my god, I'm in this world. Let me move around.
Hold on, what's the impatient for VR? Do you know what that is?
The what?
Jack Move bring up the inpatient on VR is going to be good. What's that about?
I don't know. I haven't heard that one.
It's Destiny.
No.
What? Destiny in VR? Could you imagine casualizing that game even more? I mean, come on.
There's been a lot of wave-based shooters where you're standing there and like you're basically shooting stuff.
It's a prequel of Until Dawn.
Yeah, prequel of Until Dawn.
Oh,
I know people want to really get on to me, but I actually want to play Until Dawn when I get my PlayStation.
No, it's pretty good.
I've been playing. I'm like halfway through it. It's good. And I'm telling you, the game Rush of Blood, and where you're inside the roller coaster and things are coming at you and stuff like that, and you're riding along the roller coaster, it is really scary and it is pretty cool. They jump on your roller coaster and they're like in your face and I like screamed. They're like, oh, what the hell is this thing? Is pretty, and the thing is that you say, hey, it's a game. Oh, nothing's gonna scare me. But when something comes at you with the 3D and the fact that it's up in your face, you just go instinctual. Like you just flinch. You move back. Like it's crazy. And
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but like. For me, scary movies don't scare me, and neither do like haunted houses. So I don't know if that would actually work for me.
Well,
I can't get scared. If I know it's fake, it just doesn't fucking scare me.
Scary movies don't really scare me. But games, like I don't know what it is about games. I think it's just the fact that you're controlling the character. Yeah. It's pretty scary.
Hey,
I watch tons of horror movies. I watch tons of horror movies, but when you have that thing on your face and you have headphones on, your body is tricked that you're there.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, is that you're there.
And plus, they'd probably add something if
you got to try it, and that's the thing. You got to try it, and until it becomes more prevalent and more demos.
Hold on, aren't we supposed to get Vive? Isn't Xbox supposed to get HTC Vive before Oculus?
That's why I bought the HTC Vive, because Phil was running his mouth last year saying high fidelity VR, and I went
and what's his face from Bethesda said that we'll get VR. Yeah, Todd Howard said that we'll get VR for Fallout 4 on Xbox, and Fallout 4 is exclusive to Vive, so that kind of hinted like you're getting Vive. But I haven't heard Jack about it.
No, I said, Phil, they pushed it. What
I took from the whole thing was that the Xbox One X would be able to handle multiple VRs, from third-party VRs, like from Vive.
Oculus, and I don't think Oculus is in a bad situation right now, so I don't even know if they're going to be around this time next year.
So apparently, I don't know if that's still going to when that's going to come. But the thing is, because we were talking about the Halo one before we went on a tangent again, the possibility of a Halo VR, and like I said, I don't have a problem with that if it's like, a Halo Wars 2 experience or a Halo 5 experience or even a Halo 6 exclusive VR experience that come along with the console version. But if it's a freaking game and it comes before any side of Halo 6 and it has nothing to do with the Xbox, I'm clearly going to have a problem.
Yeah, I don't
that.
think it's going to be. I think it's going to be something utilizing those touch controllers, and it's probably going to be some sort of Halo interacting thing. But the thing is that who cares about Halo? Your Xbox console players, not people buying an Asus $300 workstation. Where's your audience? Your audience of Halo and stuff is on the Xbox. Those people will eat it up if you put a virtual reality Halo experience on the Xbox One X. Hello, why is that going on Windows 10 PC? And yet this is another example of them just not listening and knowing their audience. And it frustrates the hell out of me that they take their franchises and they don't give it to the people who are asking for it. Like, I gotta see who's asking for Halo on the Lenovo the thing that doesn't come out yet, the Lenovo headset.
For the most part, I will say this, like, it's like I was ranting about ReCore, and it's like I was like, look, like Microsoft dropped the ball on ReCore. They just did, because if you look at it from a standpoint, people don't like ReCore. It gets a lot of bad rep, and when you put it to how the definitive edition came out, I think it would have been better received. But because they wanted to rush it out, I wouldn't say it's a dead franchise, but it's definitely the franchise is already hurt out the gate.
Hold on. I have this to say too. I agree with Jez. They don't listen to us, because I've seen Phil Spencer tweet at people who've asked him for a new Mechasol, and Jez knows what I'm saying. Mechasol is bad. It's a good game, and I've wanted it forever. And Phil has had multiple people tweet him about Mechasol, and he's like, I don't know, or we don't have anything to say about that. But he'll listen to people about ReCore? I mean, let's be honest, dude. Come on. That's some BS.
It comes off as them just being cheap again, like just recycling old stuff and then telling us that the media is going to control our narrative. We don't need to market that much. It's like, guys, are we saving up for something? Well, because let me know.
Before
are you guys putting the money away? What are we saving up for?
Before we continue, I just want to say hello to Psycho Gamer has joined Cal from The Godfather. A tick is in here. Hello, please introduce yourself, please.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Black Bond, there is no brute force 2. There was only one brute force.
Yeah, there's only one.
Yeah,
and he said that never happened. I think somebody asked him about it. He's like, never happening.
My bad, Kids Move. My bad.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nah, I just popped in, man. Just wanted to come in and support. Shout out, Kid. Shout out, Panda. And shout out to Addict. Really, I just came in here to promote all the new stuff that we got coming out with you guys and with Iron Lords and things like that. But listen to the show. Obviously, it's a great show. I have a lot to say on a lot of things. I'm going to backtrack just a little bit and give my opinion on a few things. First and foremost, with the VR stuff, there's supposed to be, obviously, VR coming out for the Xbox. What Microsoft is trying to do is make the Xbox One X this kind of like, unlike the original Xboxes, this universal adapter type platform, because they're getting rid of Kinects now, and soon you'll be able to use any third-party camera on the console coming up in the future. And with that being said, you're supposed to be able to use like 5 different VR devices on the Xbox as well. So it's giving you options. This is their whole thing, this option thing, where it's like, whatever you want to play on, just pick it up and plug it in and it'll work. The problem I have with Microsoft is one of the problems that I've always had from the beginning, and I've said this multiple times, is that I always feel like Microsoft, as the company Microsoft, is holding Xbox back. There's a big difference in leadership in the direction and where they're going. And there's reasons why you're not seeing the games that the hardcore fans are clamoring for. You're not getting that because that's not the direction that Microsoft, the company, is trying to take it. They're looking at what's good game-wise, but also what's selling and what they can sell. And a lot of those games are like MMOs, these survival titles, these co-op games. You're starting to see less investment in first party. Not to say they won't invest in it, but you're starting to see them really invest in services, things to fall back on. When we had the father of Xbox on, Seamus Blackley, one of the things he said to us was, one of the things Phil did when he first took over was immediately make a new console, because that allows him to get an immediate new flow of cash to make new games. And I didn't think about it that way. I didn't think about how they had already spent all this money on what we already played, and then those things not being successful, and then trying to talk to the board to get more money. Meanwhile, if you make a new console, you got to have games on that console, so you're able to double dip and get more money for those games. It seems weird, but that's actually one of the factful statements that he told us when we interviewed him. So it's a weird thing what Microsoft is trying to do. I know a lot of people have lost faith in them. Trust me, I've had it up to here with a lot of the things that they're doing, but I'm impressed with what they did at E3 as far as their diversity, whether it's marketing deals, indie games, whatever. And they got a couple games that they're working on. So, I mean, only thing fans can do, in my opinion, is just wait. I look at 2018 for Xbox the way I look at 2017 for PS4. I'm not saying that the Xbox is going to dominate the PS4 in 2018, but what I'm saying is 2018 is a huge year for Xbox. Huge year. All these games that got delayed release in 2018. Not to mention all these Japanese games are coming over like Black Desert, Cold Vein, Dragon Ball Z. You're talking about the third-party games with Anthem that they have a marketing deal with. Metro Exodus is a marketing deal. And then we didn't even get a chance to get to E3 to see what they're dropping in fall. What's the big titles in fall besides Forza? Because the Playground team is working on an RPG. And we don't even know if that's exclusive or multi-plat. It's rumored to be multi-plat, but we don't know. So Microsoft has stuff. We don't know nothing about it. They don't want to talk about it. Fable was a disaster. Scalebound was a disaster. Closing Studios was a disaster. It's just one of those things where Crackdown is a disaster. Like, it's just one of those things. They don't want to put their foot in their mouth again, even though they constantly put their foot in their mouth.
To think of it, a lot of bad shit's happened in a year with Microsoft.
But let me ask you a question. What do you feel, Cal? Would you feel that the fact that he doesn't want to announce games super early, do you think that that gives him an ability to kind of cancel it before?
Absolutely.
They get, so that
which sucks.
It's more of a, which puts a lot of stuff in question.
He's trying to control the narrative and make sure it doesn't get to the media.
Sony is showing stuff. Sony showing stuff that's coming that like years out. Like, what's that other game that?
Jez, we don't have a problem with Sony. They hyped up The Last Guardian for 10 years and they still brought it out.
I know. So how? Like, that's why I get nervous when we say Xbox fans need to wait. It's like, wait for what? We don't know what's coming out, and there's a potential that things might get canceled. Like, it's just, and might push out timelines more. Because remember, 2017 was supposed to be, some of it was 2016. You know, a couple of those games got delayed to 2017, and then they said, what a year it's going to be now. And we started off with Scalebound, and then everything that this year got pushed to next year.
Oh, and let's be real. Me and Room thought that State of Decay 2 was coming out this year for sure.
Yeah,
and that shit got pushed back.
Before
I was convinced it was coming out.
Before E3, everybody had the lineup. State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, Forza. The lineup was set up from September to November. And what happened? Everything after E3 just got tossed out the window.
You know, when it comes down to it, it's like, look, like, Microsoft was going to take an L one of these years because of all these games getting canceled. Not all these games don't get canceled, and a company doesn't take an L for a whole year, because when you're canceling like 3 to 4 games because, you know, transition problems, regardless what happened internally, these games are going to drop sooner or later. And when they're supposed to drop, it's going to be dry because they're not there.
These games are pretty big to be canceled, and that's the thing that scared me. Of all my years of you being an Xbox owner and having Xbox games, I haven't seen cancellations such as this, where it's been so apparent to us. Like, some of us even playing Fable, and then it's just getting canceled. There are games that got canceled, like the MMO that they had planned like a while ago, like things that we saw some screenshots to, but never where it's been so tangible, and then it's just gone. That's what I fear about Crackdown.
Everything's been flip-flopped if you look at it. Like, remember last gen when Xbox 360 got Left 4 Dead exclusive just because Valve was like, nah, screw the PlayStation, we don't like the cell processor, we just gonna put it on Xbox. That's happening with PlayStation now. Nier is an exclusive because Sony made a deal. Neither are all these other games. It's because they don't want to put it on Xbox because they don't want to deal with it. That's exactly what it is.
Well,
They don't
and
even
the
have
other
to make
problem I have,
exclusives.
too, is that the
Oh yeah, I
DS
forgot
RAM
about
still
that.
exists,
Project Spark
too.
was canceled too.
Yeah,
But Project Spark, at
too,
least it
yeah.
released. It was out for a couple years before they just shut down.
But that's
No, it was
that
out
brings
for
up
like
one more
6
time. I got to
months.
bring up one
Project
thing. And I have
Spark's
to
been
head
out
out.
more than 6 months before it was out.
It was
gone.
in
one thing I
their
gotta
version
bring
of
out.
preview program for a while.
The one thing I want to talk about related to Project Spark is that I think Sea of Thieves' success is going to be dependent on what the model is. Is it a $60 game? Is it a free game? Is it a $40 game?
Sea of
Project
Thieves-
Spark got destroyed because of that.
I can tell you right now.
It's like I keep saying, people keep sleeping on Sea of Thieves. Don't sleep on Sea of Thieves.
No, I ain't sleeping on that. I'm buying it day
Sea of
one.
Thieves is going to be a hit, and I'm gonna tell you why it's going to be a hit.
Every E3, biggest
When we
lines.
were at E3, when I go to E3, when you watch the people play this game, the biggest thing that people are doing besides playing, they're watching. And the fact that Microsoft has Mixer, and the fact that they had this team game that you can't play by yourself, you can, but you won't be as successful, is one of the things that's really going
As
to
in, you won't be successful when you're trying to do a whole boat by yourself.
Right. I mean, they supposedly have things where there's boats that you can drive by yourself, but it's very difficult to be successful in that world. I'm setting up some things with Craig.
But what's going to be the pricing model of it? He says the service game. It's a service game.
Whoa, wait, he said it was a service game? Like, you gotta pay $60 then pay more?
He said it's a service game. He said it's a Giant Bomb.
The game is not free. I can tell you that right now.
No, it's not, but it's a service-based game, he said.
The game is definitely, if you think about what Destiny is, that's exactly what it is. It's one of the things that they're trying to capture. If you ever listen to how Phil talks, when he had the whole controversy of putting down the Zeldas and the Horizon Zero Dawn and stuff like that, and everybody lost their minds over it, the reality of it was that he's not so much that single players aren't good, aren't successful, they just aren't as big as these multiplayer games, especially these service games. Even when a game like, say, for example, Destiny, that everybody hates, supposedly, and it's got the worst ratings in the world, this thing has a life of its own. And millions upon millions of people are buying it, and Activision is making money out of the wazoo. So Microsoft understands that, and they're trying to tap into that market. And they think Sea of Thieves is their access into that market because, one, it's a pirate game. Two, you don't have a pirate game like it because the other game, whatever it is, the Bones game from Ubisoft, you can't get off the ship.
Yeah.
It's all shit.
Yeah, and people went at me on press start because I said that. People tried to compare the two, and I was like, look, like, you can't compare these two games. They're nothing alike. You got one that's, kind of an open world adventure. You do what you want. And then you got one that's like get in the ship, shoot the other ships. That's legitimately what Bones and what's that game called?
Oh, your brother plays it all the time, right?
And I'm like, look, Black Flag was a good pirate game, but it was mainly about these, it was a good add-on.
Right.
But I don't think you can make a multiplayer game just by the ship combat from Assassin's Creed. But Ubisoft, for some reason, Ubisoft has the model that Microsoft wants. Let's name these games. Rainbow Six Siege. Microsoft.
I gotta head out, guys. Sorry about that. I'll talk to you guys later.
Rainbow Six Siege. Microsoft would love a service game like that. For Honored. Microsoft would love a service game like that. Somehow, Ubisoft is making a hit after hit after hit service game. And but the Bones and Cell game, it might be just as good as the other two.
You just never know. Microsoft definitely, they have things in process. I look at it from the perspective of, I don't know if Phil is trying to create a clean slate. First, what you do is you build this cushion. And this is basically when I've spoken to some people, and this is basically what I've been kind of told. This is kind of like the model.
He always has some money to fall back on from services or something else.
Like you're building this service-based system. You have this Xbox Pass, you got EA Access, you got the digital store, you have Xbox Live. You turn around, you make a new console that is a mid-gen refresh, and every console after that, from now on, you will try to make it the most powerful console. This is their works. On top of that, you now can invest in first party. This is their biggest problem. And this is one of the reasons
it's one of their only problems I see that they have right now.
No, that's not true because what they tried to do early on was they invested in first party, but they gave it to third party developers. In my
Yeah,
opinion,
and if you don't own the IP, you can't make sequels if they don't want to.
well, they own some of the IPs. That's the thing. They own ReCore, but that's made by Armature Studios, and they own what's the other Quantum Break, but that was made by
Remedy.
Right, but it's done by Remedy. And this is the problem. Like 343 with Bungie, you now either have to take people from Remedy or Armature or create a new studio to get these guys to work on these games. And if they're not familiar with it, if they're not familiar with the story or the history, then you have a problem. When you look at 343 and you look at the Coalition, that's exactly what they did. They grabbed those guys from Epic, they got Rod Ferguson, they got some guys, then they turned around and you got people from Bungie coming over to 343 and taking over, and those franchises still have some of the lore and some of the history of what was built on the original from the original studios. But you don't have that third party. Relying on third party isn't good long term. So you wind up getting these one and done games, and it's not a good look. So they definitely
especially
make studios.
You know, people keep saying, "Well, why isn't there another Sunset? Why isn't there another Rise?" Because they don't own either.
They don't
of
own
those
those
IPs.
games. What Microsoft needs is a way to promote within. They need to be able to move guys out who have been proteges of other developers and create new studios internally and then hire outside.
Yeah, see that's
you,
sorry, Cal, you finished what you're saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say, but I just don't think that's what they're trying to do. When I look at them shut down studios, and this is why I get into arguments with, you know, the fan base all the time, is because people are like, just open new studios. But here's the problem. They're not opening new studios, they're closing them. And they don't look like they're trying to open them, because if they was, they would have did it already. You know what I'm saying?
And,
so, in my opinion, they need to let 343, the Coalition, and Turn 10 make new games.
Oh, I agree, because, you know, when it comes down to it, it's like, look, people would just say, oh, you need to open new studios, you need to open new studios. The majority of the good talent in this industry is already employed.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to getting that, you know, you can definitely, I mean, look at a studio like Naughty Dog. It took them like what, two decades to become what they are?
Yeah, all they made was Crash and stuff, right?
They made Crash, they made The Last of Us, Uncharted.
No, before The Last of Us, it was just straight Crash and Spyro, right?
I don't think did they make Spyro?
No, they made Jack and Dexter. All they did was do Crash and Jack.
You know, but the whole point of it is they can't just make a studio and then bam, they make hits. It doesn't work like that. And, you know, for the most part, you know, if they did make new studios, you're not going to see huge AAA titles out the gate because, you know, let's say they did make a huge AAA title and, you know, it did okay, but not the greatest. They're probably going to, you know, either reduce the budget for that studio or just can them all together because you need to work a studio up. You need to find out who's working, who's not working, who needs to be replaced. That takes years to do. You can't just do it on the dime. But you know what you can do. The good developers in your studios. Let's be real here. 343, the Coalition, and I would say Rare. That's probably their best teams. So those people have the experience. Those people have, you know, the necessary tools that they can make a new IP.
All right. Sorry to break that up. Just a moment. I do also want to let Cal talk about the updated plans for the Inner Circle and Planet Xbox. So no, we don't have him all day, so I just definitely want him to have the opportunity to talk more about that because there's a lot of things coming this September. So
yeah, I appreciate that. Real quick, man, before I head out, we are very grateful and glad that, you know, Kid Smooth has decided to return to the Tick brand, and Planet Xbox is now an official show, a part of the Tick network. We are building a Patreon, and we are working very hard to give guys out there who want to get that type of content great value for being a subscriber to Tick Network and supporting us and what we're trying to do as media. One of the cool things out there for those out there who love Kid Smooth or hate Kid Smooth is we have a great tier called the Smooth Operator, where you'll be able to give Kid Smooth a phone call and tell him how you feel about his latest episode. Now listen, understand, there are rules to this. This is not something where you're just going to call him randomly. We have certain things set up in place. You will not get his personal phone number, but we will have a number that will lead to him. So don't think you're going to be able to just control things and stuff like that. At the end of the day, though, that is one of the tiers out there for the people. So whether you want to troll him, rant, or praise him, you have an opportunity for that. And we got a host of other tiers coming out. Iron Lord Podcast is now a part of the Tick Network as well. Shout out to Addict for making that happen with the team, Cognito and King and all those guys out there. So if you want to hear some great content, make sure you tune in there. And we also have gone ahead and observed Playback Gaming. So if you ever heard of Playback Gaming with Dizzy and that team with Panda, the Iron Lords guys like Zero, who used to write for Playback, all those guys are now a part of the TIC family, and I'm very proud to bring these guys in and very excited for what we have coming up in September. So make sure you look out for the Tick Network Patreon so you guys can participate, get some free games and things like that, because we are doing raffles there. And make sure you tune in to get those exclusive new podcasts that we got coming out on the Patreon as well, and as well as Tick Network on the Tick YouTube channel for the latest interviews, reviews, and podcasts and things like that. So really appreciate you guys, man. Let me head out. Coming up right now. I will holler at you guys later.
That's a real tier.
You thought they were joking? That's why I kept asking you. Are you sure about that?
I've never gotten like I thought they brought it up a couple times with some giggles, but I didn't know that was a real tear. Okay, so that was...
don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
I kept
Is that
saying
Psycho Gamer?
times, kid. Are you good with this?
Shit, when did you get in the stream?
I've been here for like an hour, man. Y'all been talking. not an hour.
No, he's been in here, but yeah, you guys are just like on like a freaking tangent. But Psycho, thank you for joining. But I do want to get to the new the latest we have, Panda. I'm gonna screw up the name. But I wanted to, because I ran a poll.
How are you going to
screw up
Mercy? Oh, okay, never mind.
What? No.
I thought you were talking about the Overwatch.
No, so I ran a poll for a Planet Xbox of like just certain things that we can get like some feedback for. And a lot of people voted for like more Panda. And so we tried to come up with something, and the name, Jazz had a name. Panda have a better name that she wanted to call it. So I would like to turn the floor over to Panda for Pandemonium, right?
Yeah, Jez wanted to call it Panda Pop, and I was like,
Panda
that
Pop.
Sounds a little too like...
It sounded colorful.
Kitty.
He said panda question mark. Let's have some panda emojis in the comments section.
Yeah, Panda Pop sounded a little too kitty, so I was like, why not Pandemonium? That sounds good to me. But I wanted to talk about the new overhaul on Mercy on Overwatch. I don't know how many people play it, but it's a big thing that's going on right now with Mercy. So her ultimate has been changed. For those of you guys who don't play Overwatch, her ultimate would revive players within a certain radius that have died. That has been completely changed. Her revive is now part of one of her regular skills. So before you say that it's like
way
what?
Overpowered. Like hold on. Her regular skill is to revive people now.
Yes, but
I might have to jump on some Overwatch. Okay, I'll be back.
Before you say that it's overpowered or anything,
it's just one person at a time, isn't it?
Yes, it is one person at a time. So, with it being one person at a time, a lot of people have said a lot of really bad things, saying that, oh, she's not going to be able to do anything now. But it makes it a little bit better because I feel like Mercy players are going to make better decisions.
You don't have to waste a whole special on one person.
Well, no. The thing was is that people were waiting and waiting and holding back and not getting, going with the team to support them because they were waiting for that play of the game revive when you needed to be
Could have
at least
theoretically used
reviving
it
like
twice
one or
by
two
now.
people. It could have been the tank that died, or if you have a second healer in some games, it could have been the second healer that died, and you need to revive that person so that way your whole team doesn't just fall apart. So with the new update, she her beams, her healing beams, and her beams that is a damage boost beam, they only during her ultimate they can chain to allies. So that means that you can go in and you can use your healing or your damage beam thing, and whenever you put it on one ally, the allies that are around that particular character will also get that same boost. And then she can also fly. She can fly freely around whenever she's in Valkyrie. And then she can also the resurrect cooldown is reduced to 10 seconds when normally now it's 30 seconds. And then right now they're also having problems with her gun. Her gun will have unlimited ammo during Valkyrie, and it does more damage. But they're having problems with the amount of damage it does because it's killing people in like 2 to 3 shots. So they still got to work on it a little bit more, but I just wanted to see what everybody thinks about that. I personally think it's going to be better for smart decision making.
I think that it's definitely a movement the entire game needed, because I noticed a lot of things, just like Panda said, a lot of times people would hold their super when they were playing Mercy for like half the game, when theoretically they could have had like 3 of these things by now.
Right.
And giving them, so what button is it? Like, did they replace any of hers for her ability to resurrect, or?
I don't think they replaced any of the buttons. I think your normal healing beam and your damage boost beam is the same. They're just adding another one, kind of like how some of the other characters are, like
So pretty much just chain links to each other. It'll just keep going until the super's over.
Do what?
It's just chains to each other. You do the damage boost on one, if they're beside someone else, it moves to them, and so on until the super's over.
Well, your other abilities are the same. Whenever you're in your super, if you're talking about like the chaining to other teammates, it's kind of like if you had a beam going on one person, everybody who's in that immediate area will get that same boost.
Oh, so yeah, that Mercy's probably a lot more useful now than she's ever been, because that definitely, she was always a support person, but she was definitely the best healing person. Besides maybe I seen a lot of people use Zen Mind's pretty good, but she was always Zenyatta. She was always one of the best support characters. But I do think that might change up the meta when it comes to that.
So Overwatch, I wish
you don't know nothing about Overwatch. Let's be real here.
You haven't played Overwatch?
I was just about to say, I wasn't going to pretend like I knew anything about it.
I wouldn't say you were pretending.
Yeah, I was saying I know
it before it started.
know nothing of what you guys talking about, but it sounded very educational. And Mercy, she's a
Mercy.
Mercy sounds like an interesting character, but yeah.
Everything's the same. It's just that her Valkyrie, which lasts 20 seconds, by the way. So you have a good amount of time to do all these things to make game-changing plays.
So how long has she been with this update? Is this like something new, or is it come?
Well, it's not. I don't believe it's out yet. I went on there to check as soon as I found out the news, and I didn't see it on there. Nothing had changed. But she's been on there since day one, and people have been, loving Mercy, and then a lot of people have been hating Mercy because the enemy team, let's say that they're trying to turn the game around and they kill everybody. They're like, "Woo, yeah, we did
one
it."
Mercy
Yeah, and
play
the
can
one
win
Mercy
the entire
that's
game.
hiding in the background, she revives everyone, and they're able to make that last push.
And no, the worst part about it, kid, is she's got like a grab ability where she can grab onto an enemy and it pulls her to them, which wouldn't be an issue, but she can grab onto her allies' dead orbs. So like she can legitly get from point A all the way up there where all of her people are dead, revive them all, and then the commotion, like just straight up leave. No one.
Yeah. But that's another reason why the people with the Mercy on their team were so upset, because she would just sit in the background because she was so squishy, I guess. She couldn't really do much.
She's still
except
probably
for
gonna be
revive.
squishy though.
How's this game alive, but Lawbreakers is dead?
Well, Lawbreakers never gave
This
birth.
game,
Actually,
this game
talked
is
about,
this game is probably
Lawbreakers
the
and
reason
Overwatch.
Lawbreakers didn't take off. The reason it did.
Yeah.
Really?
I actually talked about.
I looked at Lawbreakers and it looked fun.
Well, the thing with Lawbreakers compared to Overwatch was that it was too much going on, and in Overwatch it's a lot more simplified. It's more like a Pixar looking game, so it's more simplified. And then in Lawbreakers, the only thing that I found that was hard for me to find out was that the characters just were characters that looked cool. They didn't have a personality to them. They were, I mean, to be honest, the characters were boring.
All they did was float.
Yeah.
I thought people liked Overwatch because of like waifus and stuff.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I
because,
did enjoy playing like Lawbreakers for a little bit. But before we go on, I do want to hear a word from Psycho on this stuff. I don't know if you were aware for any of the stuff that we were talking about throughout the episode, but did you have any thoughts on the whole Tomb Raider thing?
Man.
Did you have any thoughts?
I lost my train of thought on so much of that shit because it moved so quick. But as far as Tomb Raider is concerned, I don't know, man. I didn't really. It seemed like it was. The X was getting more graphics or whatever, but apparently it wasn't, because I guess that stuff was situational as far as having the mud on her face or not, or how much damage she takes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think there's really, whenever I hear a console being spoken of as more powerful than a PC, I really don't pay too much stock into it, because we know, PC stuff can be upgraded on a normal basis. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. As far, I don't know if you guys talked about the pre-orders and stuff like that.
No, we didn't.
Okay, well, I'll save that.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you guys talk about?
No, you can talk about it. No, we were just talking.
Okay. As far as it sells, I mean, my thing is this, man. Like, why is it such a big deal? Like, why are all the PC guys and PS4 guys? It's like whenever Xbox says something that is somewhat positive about anything they're doing, these guys always have to put their investigative hats on and try to like dissect everything they say. You know what I mean? And so if Microsoft says they sold out of pre-orders, they sold out of pre-orders. So what? Like, why is it an issue?
I mean, all you would have to say is, "Oh, let's see who actually sells," But instead of saying something like that, they come at you and say, "Oh, sales don't matter, pre-orders don't matter. You need to stop hyping up pre-orders." I'm like, no one's hyping up pre-orders. We are just saying that they outsold the special edition. Calm yourself.
Yeah, I just don't see. I don't see what the issue is. I mean, that kind of shit is crazy. And then when Digital Foundry comes out and says whatever they say, all of a sudden, they believe them all generation. Now all of a sudden they don't believe them. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is weird to me. But I'm slowly starting to understand it and get why people are doing that. But it's just strange to me. So
because people are doing that because, believe it or not, there are more mentally sicker people than Xbox fanboys. They just don't get called out for it. It's just they're in, right?
It's like that's why
they're
we
in
were
the
saying
crowd.
earlier, Cycle, before you got in here, that the community likes to let a handful of people represent the entire Xbox community.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
and then they take those same people and say, your guy said this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit, it's like, what are you talking about? I never said that shit. Where you getting that from? Yeah, but your guy said it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically how I feel about those things, man. Yeah, that's it.
I'm trying to see. Did you play the new ReCore?
I did not play the new ReCore. I haven't even been home.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't been able to play it. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that was really pretty much it for this episode. It was a light news week.
Extremely.
Yeah, there was like freaking no news. Like
we had to pretty much figure out this stuff to say as we did.
But I still appreciate all you guys for coming through and watching us wing it today. I do want to do a follow up. So shout out to the Inner Circle, the Planet Xbox, and like I said, I am returning to the Tick Network. No, that does not mean I'm leaving Weapon Wheel or anything like that. Planet Xbox will also be part of the Tick Network, and Planet Xbox will still continue to be here, but you can also catch it on the Tick channel as well and the Tick website. And hopefully you guys don't abuse that that tier of the smooth operator. I still don't understand how that's gonna work, so we gotta talk about that. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning in for episode 12 of Planet Xbox. If you missed it, you can check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud, or you can hit that rewind button. And we will see you guys next Tuesday, or maybe not, because Destiny 2 comes out. Oh no, it comes out Wednesday. Thank you, Bungie. But
yeah, we're definitely we'll definitely be streaming that.
Yeah.
So
thought I saw a comment section. But all right, guys, thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure. As I always say, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you are on the other side of the globe. It's been a pleasure. And